guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shayla and I'm the creator of Junk Drawer Mom. I believe that hiding is overrated, so on this channel we talk about everything motherhood from practical to personal. So if you're new here, consider subscribing before you go. So today I'm actually going to be doing the first video in my homeschooling series. It is officially back to school time for a lot of you guys. And so happy back to school, because I know a lot of y'all are like, see ya to your kids. But we are a homeschooling family, so we actually started school right after 4th of July, so we are well into our school year. But since most of you guys are starting school now, I figured I would go ahead and do this series for you. Now, when I tell people that we are a homeschooling family, the number one question that I get is why? And obviously that's understandable. People want to know, like, why would you ever do that? And so this requires a whole video. One of the main reasons why we decided to homeschool is because our kids are really young, and you only get one childhood, and I want to be a part of my kids' childhood. I think it's really important for kids to have a tight family nucleus at a young age, because that's what sets the foundation and their what's the right word? That's what sets their perspective on what family life should be like in those foundational years. And so I just believe that it's really important for me to be around. One of the things that I really long for just as a mom is to have a close relationship with my children. So if I can make that easier for my kids to be closer to me by homeschooling them, then I will gladly do so. And that leads me to my next point, which is kind of similar, but because their kids are so young, they have really impressionable minds. And for a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old, like Josiah and Eli are, for them to be in a public school system or even a private school or charter school, I don't know the people that they would be around. You know, I know that they would make great friends. I know that their teachers would probably be nice. Even though friends are nice and they're good friends to you, it doesn't mean that they believe the same thing as you. And so I really want them to have a strong foundation in who they are as people, what their character traits should be like. I want them to know how to choose good friends, how to make wise decisions, and I want to be the one to break their innocence. So there are things that they might come across or be exposed to in a public school setting that I'm not okay with. So that doesn't mean that I'm going to force them to live in a bubble. How can we? But I do want to be the one. I want to be the one to break their innocence, and I believe that as you do that, you as a parent can build trust with your kids, so that way if they were to come across something like that, they would be more apt to talk to you about it and to have a discussion. Another reason why we decided to homeschool is simply because the class sizes in this area are just way too big. The average, I think, is like 32 to 35 kids in the elementary school. That's ridiculous. I know that a lot of public school teachers are really amazing. I have family and friends who are teachers, but I know that it's extremely difficult to be able to manage a class of that size and also to engage all of the students. There are different learning styles, there are different learning curves, there are kids who might be a little bit more advanced or might be a little bit behind, and so I know that they have to streamline all of their topics and their teaching style to suit that full size. Whereas if it's one-on-one, I can do it according to how they learn. So that is a really big plus for me. In homeschooling, I have the opportunity to have that one-on-one time with my kids and really learn how they think and how they process things. And that actually leads me into my next point, which is the freedom to be able to teach what I want when I want. So exactly what I was just saying, you know, kids sometimes will have a different learning style or they might be behind in one subject or a little bit more advanced. So I don't have to stick with just a second grade curriculum or just a kindergarten curriculum. I can actually tailor whatever it is that they're learning according to their learning style and also according to their interests. So if I have a child who is interested in cooking, which I do, Nathaniel is very much interested in cooking, I can do his science lessons in the kitchen. And if I have a child who is very much interested in animals, then he can do as many units as he wants on different types of animals. So homeschooling actually provides the opportunity to be able to expand their learning capacity and expand the areas in which they can learn at a really young age. And lastly, I know this might not apply to everybody, but it surely applies to us. I want to be able to teach an accurate depiction of African American history, especially within the United States. I believe that the public school system does not do an accurate job of depicting what African Americans have gone through in this country. And to me, Black history should not just be in the month of February, it needs to be every day. And so I believe that is a high priority for our family. I want them to learn about our culture. I want them to learn about the history of our family specifically. I want to be able to take them to their grandparents' house and let them hear stories about their heritage and where they come from. And I want them to be able to study all these African Americans who have made a tremendous impact on the United States. And so the Americanized version of history is not always accurate, in my opinion. And so I would like to let them experience a broader aspect of history, specifically history, but you know, it goes for really all the subjects, you know, in teaching music or art or even science and mathematics. There are so many different ways to learn, and so I'm really looking forward to being able to dive into some of those topics that they would not otherwise receive in public school. So those are the main reasons why we decided to homeschool. If you have any questions related to homeschooling, leave them in the comment section below. I'm actually going to do a Q&A episode at the end of this series, so I will answer all your questions then. Tune in for the next video because I'm actually going to be talking about the curriculum that we've decided to use this year. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, hiding is overrated. I'll see you next time.